Welcome to Growing Older and Wiser. I'm Krista Gibson. Today I would like to discuss a topic that might be a little threatening to you at first, so we'll see, then we might back off a bit. I want to talk about loving ourselves. And where I say I'm going to back off a bit is I think for some people initially, the idea of loving themselves is just too difficult to accept. And if you feel that way, like, why would I love me? Let's back off and let's just look at liking yourself then. If you can't love yourself, like yourself. But I'm going to put it in terms of self-love. And the reason I'm bringing this up here under Growing Older and Wiser is as we grow older, part of wisdom is learning to totally 100% accept ourselves, like ourselves, and even love ourselves. We have had so many life experiences. We've had good ones, we've had quote-unquote bad ones, negative ones, challenging ones, we've succeeded, we've failed. We have this just amazing life to look at and go, you know what? I've done pretty darn good. I like myself. I've handled things in my life pretty well. Not only that, but you know what? I think I actually might love myself. And loving yourself means treasuring ourselves, where we really are aware that we're decent human beings. And whether we've made mistakes or not kind of is beside the point, that we're still a good person and we're worthy of our own love. One question I like to ask people when I get into discussing this with them is to ask yourself, am I nicer to my dog, my cat, my bird, my fish, whatever companion animals you have? And if you don't have companion animals, then are you nicer to your children, your spouse, your neighbors? Basically, do you treat other people, other creatures, with more respect, more acceptance, more love than you do yourself? And if so, then my question is, why do you think that is so? Why do you think that you value all of them more than you value yourself? And if you really spend some time thinking about that and looking at your life and look at the way you've handled some things or mishandled some things, like I think all of us, like this one person in a film said, I think we'd all give in for a new past. If we could have one, we'd all put in for a new past. I don't know that that's totally true. I think as we do grow older, we are able to embrace our past. We are able to say, yeah, you know what? Maybe I would do it differently now. And, I know more now than I did then. And yeah, I would have said this instead of that. I would have done this instead of that. But that's the wisdom that comes from being around long enough to have had enough life experiences that you can bring a different view to the things that have happened or not happened in your life. And all of that gets wrapped up in self-love, self-acceptance, liking yourself. Every now and then, give yourself a pat on the back. Say, hey, you're doing pretty good. Good for you. How many times have you patted somebody else on the back but not yourself? How many times have you complimented other people and what they're doing but not yourself? Change that. Just decide right here, right now, that you're changing that. And you're going to start liking yourself. And if you don't like yourself right now, sit down with a pen and paper and write down all the good aspects of yourself that other people would like about you and in fact do like about you. And then make another list and write down all the things that other people love about you and the things that therefore maybe you could consider loving about yourself. My point is, if you don't love yourself, if you don't 100% accept yourself, and if you don't like yourself, now is the time to change it. Don't wait any longer. Don't live the rest of your life in self-hatred or self-dislike. From here on forward, find out what is likable and lovable about yourself, because it's there. I know it's there. And I know for most of you listening to this, you know it as well. What I think happens is we get this undercurrent going on in our lives early on when people shame us or say we're bad or we're wrong or whatever. we take that on ourselves and we don't really get critical about it along the way. And if you haven't gotten critical about these messages that you have incorporated, now there's no better time than now. If you haven't done it by now, do it now. And get in there with a chisel, a hammer, a saw, whatever you need to get rid of those old messages. Let them go. Let them just go out and poof into smoke. So that what you'll find under all of that is your ability to love and accept yourself. And when you love and accept yourself, everything in your life changes because you're standing on a solid ground, very solid ground that matches up with the way your soul sees you. Your soul loves you no matter what you've done with your life. Your soul just hums along with total love and acceptance. So when you do this little exercise I'm talking about of uncovering all the things you like and love about yourself, what you're doing is you are aligning with your soul. And this is a wonderful thing to do. This is a wonderful mudra to use to represent aligning with your soul and accepting and loving yourself the way your soul does. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week.